So just trying a little something different there. I hope you don't mind. That was a little free music from bensound.com. I think that was called Dance or something. I don't know. I just figured I'd try a little something different at the beginning of the video instead of putting up the little intro title screen, so to speak. This is I don't even know what FlossTube this is. Hold on just a minute. Do I even know what FlossTube this is? No. Hold on just a minute. So this is apparently FlossTube number 99. FlossTube number 99, you guys. Anyway, welcome to my channel. This is a channel where I talk about cross-stitching, crafts like diamond painting, ghost hunting, life in general, just things that are going on in my world, and just kind of come to you with different things. So this episode, this FlossTube episode is about cross stitching. Those of you who are new to FlossTube here on YouTube, FlossTube is just a subset on YouTube that deals with people who cross stitch, and it's people who are creating videos talking about everything that is in their world that's related to cross stitch. So welcome to my channel. I'd like to welcome you. If you find you really like this video, please go ahead and subscribe below, and go ahead and click the notification bell so you're notified when I upload new content such as this. And also, welcome back to those of you who have watched before but haven't yet subscribed. I hope you find this video sort of entertaining, and I hope you get something out of this. To those of you who are subscribers, thank you very much and welcome back. I'm glad you're still here, and I'm glad that you're watching. So just thank you very much, and I really appreciate everything going on with my channel. Thank you very much for all your comments and everything like that. You know, I'm doing my best to comment on your comments and to like or at least acknowledge the fact that you've commented and viewed my channel or viewed my videos. So that being said, I have quite a few updates. You'll see behind me there on the scroll frame is my pandemic long dog samplers pandemic start. You'll get a little close-up of that here pretty soon, and I have a whole bag down here of stuff that I kind of want to show you. These are some webs, but that was a T-Mobile bag. I do not have anything to do with T-Mobile or Sprint. It just happens to be my cell phone carrier. So anyway, it's just a bag that I happen to have upstairs that I brought everything downstairs for you. You'll see behind me I have lights. The purple lights and the orange lights right behind me immediately are bats and pumpkins, and over here on this side I have ghosts and orange leaves. So I got those at the Dollar Tree. They run on AA batteries, so they have a little on-off switch boxes, but I kind of was decorating for Halloween. And I also got this Autumn Blessings pumpkin right here from the Dollar Tree as well. Just kind of decorating a little bit for the holidays. So in this video, I'm gonna kind of talk to you about some updates on some stitching, because I did quite a bit of stitching this week. I think I had like 1,200. I want to say like 1,200 and some stitches for this week. I have some information on a new Facebook challenge group that just got started this week. So I'll be talking about that in my plans, and I'll show you some of my WIP updates. Talk to you. I don't have any haul per se because I didn't go to my needle workshop this week, and I didn't really purchase anything online. But I did get something really nice in the mail that I will talk to you about in Happy Mail, because I kind of wasn't expecting it. I think I knew, you know, in some little recessed part of my brain that I was going to be getting something, but it was still a nice little surprise. So I'll talk to you about that here in a bit as well. But other than that, I really don't have a whole lot going on. It was kind of a busy stitchy week because I kind of sat down and decided that. So I sat down and decided that I was going to make an attempt to go through all my Stitchy Challenge quests for September. So here are some of the September notes that I took for some of the challenges. The X ones are the ones I didn't do. The ones with the big checks are the ones I completed so far this month. So you'll see my notes. There's so I have these 2 pages, and I have this page, and I'm starting on this other page here. So yeah, so I've got to, I did that, sorted, let me make, so, on to Stitchy stuff. So, last week I had, or at some point, you know, I had mentioned that I'm a member of a bunch of different stitch-alongs and Facebook groups where they issue daily, weekly, monthly cross-stitching challenges that you can participate in. And I had indicated that up until recently, I really hadn't been participating an awful lot. And a couple weeks ago, I was originally in one of the Facebook groups called Semi-Sane Stitchers, and a lot of YouTubers are in there. And for some reason, whatever the reason may be, my membership to that got bumped. And I'm really kind of sad because they had a lot of really cool monthly and bi-weekly stitching challenges that you could get involved in. Unfortunately, as of right now, their membership is closed. They're not accepting new members, which means I can't get my membership back. So I'm hoping that sometime soon they will reopen membership again. I don't know why I was bumped. I don't know if it was because I was inactive. I have no idea why I was bumped, but for some reason my membership disappeared. So anyway, I'm not really sad about it because I have a bunch of other groups. So I am expanding my listing of my stitch-along groups and challenge groups for my description, my channel description here for you below. And I will put that information in the description box. There's a lot of them. I included semi-sane stitchers on there because, you know, once they do open it up to membership, maybe, you know, maybe we can all join again. But there's a lot of groups. And speaking of joining groups, Sammy J Stitches, or Sammy J, I think that, bear with me just a minute. I need to find her actual YouTube name. All right. No, that's not going to do it either. Anyway, I don't know her YouTube name right off. There we go. Maybe it's Sammy J Stitches. Sammy J Stitches. I'm sorry about that. I am subscribed to her channel. She was the one that last weekend, or Monday, I think it was Monday or Tuesday, I was watching her most recent vlog, because she does little snippets throughout the week and then puts them together into one big video for you and uploads it once a week about her cross-stitching. She's down in Texas, and she had mentioned on her last vlog that I watched from last week that this new Facebook challenge group was starting up. The new Facebook challenge group is called Crystal Academy. So I happened to go out there on Monday or Tuesday to look for this new Facebook group, and I joined the group, and they're in preparation for getting ready to start the first round of stitching challenges. So this week was in preparation for sorting everybody into their dorm, which is going to be their team that they'll be that we will be stitching on challenges for, to accumulate points and spells and stuff for whatever purposes. And at the end of the semester, you know, they'll declare one dorm the winner, so to speak, And so this week was kind of, we want to test your skills so we know where to sort you into, what dorm to sort you into. So they're going to kind of set it up like an academy. We're just still getting some new information about it, but you can join the group, but it's a little too late for you to join the group and expect to be sorted into a dorm right away, because we had until noon today to accomplish up to three tasks. We could stitch for 7 days straight and post our pictures every day, our starting and ending pictures every day. That was one of the tasks. Or we could choose 2 of 3 other tasks, which was 200 stitches on a project you loved, a project you hated, or in one color. So I chose the one color and the project I hated, a project I loved, which happened to be the Pandemic Long Dog Samplers piece that's behind me. I used that this week. So I was able to complete my tasks for that. And today, after the noon cutoff time, they posted that you had until noon tomorrow, noon on Monday, to stitch 25 stitches. And in this group, they gave you a number every day that you had to put on your start picture, depending on when you started your tasks. So if you started it on Monday, you had one 4-digit number that you had to handwrite on a piece of paper and include that piece of paper with the handwritten number on it in your starting picture, so they know for sure when you're starting it. And those numbers came out around noon every day. So, you had roughly about 24 hours to complete your post before the next number came up. So I went through the tests and I completed 2 of the initial tests. I did the project I loved and the 200, or the stitches in one color. And then the first test, you could do these in any order. The first test was to stitch for 24 hours straight, or how many stitches can you get done in 24 hours. You didn't have to stitch the entire 24 hours. Basically, you put your first starting picture with the number for the day, depending on the day you started it. You post your starting picture, and 24 hours from when you post your starting picture, you had to post an ending picture of where you stopped to count for that. So in X number of however, in the 24-hour period, how much did you stitch? So I did that one. We have to do that one. So I did that one too. And I did that one Friday night into yesterday. And I posted it yesterday. So I started around the 11 p.m. news on Friday. So I had to post before the 11 p.m. news on Saturday. I kind of kept it that way because I knew I'd have most of Saturday to, do a chunk of stitching. I haven't done a chunk of stitching like that in a little while, so I knew I was kind of going to have time to do that. So that's why I did that. So I finished everything, and then today when they posted the additional test for sorting purposes to get you sorted into everything, since the pre-enrollment testing happened this last week, and the deadline was at noon today. They posted the additional do this before we sort you into your dorm. So I did it. It was 25. You could either do 25 stitches, 10 stitches in DMC 310, or 50 stitches in knit or crochet if we decided to. So they're kind of doing it, if you need to add other crafts into it or whatnot. So before I came downstairs with all my stuff, I put my 25 stitches in. I actually did 26 stitches and posted, and I did get sorted. So for Crystal Academy, starting September, let me click over here for a minute. So the stitching challenges start tomorrow, September 14th. Yep. And that's going to be like the assignment. So they have different classes that were, or subjects that we're learning, so to speak. So September 14th through the 27th is one subject. The 21st through October 7th. the 28th through the 11th, October 26th through November 8th, and November 9th through November 22nd. So sometime in October, it looks like we're taking a little bit of a break. But yeah, so I don't know. Anyway, so we're getting started with that. You can join Crystal Academy. Just note, and you can participate in any of the challenges, but just note that you will not be participating in a dorm until they do another sorting event for the new students for Crystal Academy. There's information on the group about the background, you know, what the group's going to be about. And I'm kind of thinking that Sammy J Stitches on YouTube is probably one of the admins or one of the things. She does a lot for the School of Magical Stitches and some of the other challenge groups as well. So she might actually kind of be an admin or helping out with this here. But anyway, it's going to be kind of exciting. I'm looking forward to it. I don't know, it's just one more challenge group that I could be involved in. But so anyway, speaking of challenge groups, so this week, looking at my challenge group notes and all the different things. So let's see. For Myth and Magic Stitch Wars, I am not in a clan. I'm just what's considered a villager. So I have these generic like little challenges that I can do to get ingredients for spells. And we are kind of in between until like the end of October. We're kind of in between battles, so to speak, for clans. You know, the clans battle each other and whatnot. And they cast spells and people take damage and get knocked out and all that. But we're kind of in between rounds right now, and I believe it goes on until the end of October. So we can stitch, as a villager, we can stitch 175 stitches on a project and earn sparkly pebbles that we can gift to any of the clans that need it. Clans can get up to 3 sparkly pebbles a day, and they need the sparkly pebbles to they can gather up the sparkly pebbles to do various things, like to cover somebody's stitching requirements for a round or a challenge or whatever. They can do all kinds of miscellaneous things with it. So this past week, I think I stitched twice for sparkly pebbles. So I've been kind of gifting sparkly pebbles to one of the clans in Myth and Magic Stitch Wars. School of Magical Stitches, we are reading Kingdom Keepers Book 5 by Ridley Pearson. It is Shell Game, and this week we were boarding the ship Disney Dreams to kind of get the Disney villains, to kind of help stop the Disney villains from trying to take over. And the whole thing is, the whole book is kind of centered around being on the cruise ship, Disney Dreams. So this week we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 decks that we could visit on our Stitchy journey this week. And we had to stitch that number of stitches for the deck. So like deck 1 was included, so we could do 10, we could do 1, we could do 100. As long as it's the number of stitches we did started with 1, we could do 199, whatever. So we were visiting deck 1, deck 3, deck 4, deck 5, deck 10, deck 11, and deck 14. We had to explain what we were doing. So for deck 1, because deck 1 has the health center on it, I chose Pandemic. So I'm going to kind of go through this a little bit with you and show you my whips as we go along. So for deck 1, we had to visit the health center or security on deck 1. There's other things that you can visit on deck 1. I didn't go look up what other things are on the cruise ship like we could, but I just kind of went with Pandemic for the health center. And I put on there because, you know, you had to get tested for the pandemic in order to even board the ship. So you have to go to the health center to turn in your thing. So this is on my 36-inch scroll rod. And this is my pandemic. So I started here in the middle. This is the middle at the top. And I stitched all the way over here to this corner and down. And then I worked on this motif over here. Now I'm doing the outside border. And the reason why I was doing the outside border was because it was the easiest to stitch. I really didn't have to count. All I had to do was stitch 2 and keep going all the way over. I am doing this. This is hand-dyed fabric. This was a 28 count even weave fabric that I got at Hobby Lobby. It was just the white even weave in the bigger package that you can get. I think the bigger package retails for like 15 or 20 bucks, something like that. But it's the like 36 by 42 piece. So it's the bigger piece of even weave. And I hand dyed it. I don't know if you're going to be able to see, you can see the modeling on it. So I hand dyed this using Carla Bean Crafty's pickle jar dyeing method, using RIT dye in the color Harvest. And I crumpled this up. Well, I rinsed the fabric, crumpled it up, put it in the pickle jar, and added the Harvest RIT dye and left it sit for an hour. And this was kind of the result coming out. So it's kind of a brown. It's kind of true to color, so to speak, but it washes out, I think, the closer I get. And then the threads I'm using Sulky's Blendables in Merlot. So I don't have the threads with me, but Sulky threads, you can use one thread, and it basically is like the equivalent of using 2 DMC threads. So this is 12 weight. It's a 12 weight thread. This is in the color Merlot. So you're not going to be able to see the variation in the threads. I can see it with my plain eyes, but it goes from like a pinkish red to a deeper pinkish red to a purple. So it's basically like wine. So imagine colors of red wine and purple wine, and you'll kind of get the idea. So I can kind of get in a little closer there so you can see. But yeah, so this is the far right upper corner of Pandemic. And that's as far as I've gotten. So this is 500, 600. I believe it's 620 some stitches, something like that, in Pandemic. So that is where I've gotten. So I did this for deck 1. I put in 100 stitches. I started. So from here to this first needle right here, there to the first needle is 100 stitches because it's 50 on the top row and 50 on the bottom row. So that is 100 stitches. So that was deck 1. I also did this for deck 5. Deck 5 was the Vibe Disco Lounge, Bibbidi Boppity Boutique, and the Cabins. So in a pandemic, if you get sick, you have to rest. And on a ship, you go to your cabins to rest. So I did 500 more stitches for a total of 600 and some stitches on this for School of Magical Stitches. So, yep. And I also use this for a couple of other challenges and some of the other groups that I was into. So this is my Long Doug Sampler's Pandemic start. Now, the interesting thing is so my piece, my cross stitch piece, I use the easy, that's coming off my fabric. So I use the easy stitch, no sew basting system. So there's a strip of Velcro on my fabric that adheres to the Velcro, the other part of the Velcro tab on my scroll frame that you'll see right here. So I can remove my cross stitch pieces quite easily and swap them out. This is my 36-inch scroll rod set. It's just 36-inch dowel rods that I put these metal things in on the ends so I could screw the wing nuts on. But This is the biggest set of scroll rods that I have, but you can see the pandemic sampler is going to be quite large. This is the right hand side. This is the halfway point, so the other half is going to come out to about right here. Now I had a dilemma because the edging fabric right here, there's only about 1.5 inches of leeway, give or take. There's more on the top. Up here, there's like closer to probably 3 or 4 inches on the top because I have a lot more length than I do width. That's one of the reasons why I started in the middle and worked over to an edge this week, so I could figure out how close to the sides I was going to be. And I posted in Stitch Mania that I was having a dilemma because I didn't know if this 1.5 inches on either side over here was going to be enough for framing and stuff. And I didn't know if maybe I should restart this over one. And quite a few people are like, no, you should be fine. Worst case situation, you should just sew extra fabric on the end. This is going to be fairly even on the sides, just because I pulled all the extra threads off the side before I serged it on my basic sewing machine using a zigzag stitch and a straight stitch over that. So it should be, the side should be fairly straight. I shouldn't have any issues with that. And then of course this edge over here is the selvage edge from the fabric. So anyway, that being said, this is my Long Dog Samplers pandemic start. I started this on Monday, Labor Day. All right. Oh, and if you want to see my back, that's what my back looks like. And I'm crossing each stitch as I go, just so you can kind of see the variegation in the stitches a little more readily. So yeah, I am crossing the stitches as I go. So, and I do not remember where the needle minder came from. So, that being said, the next thing I worked on for School of Magical Stitches was I worked on deck 10. The piece I chose for this is Skeleton Crew by Cricut Collection. Now this was something that I started several years ago and didn't get very far on. I originally picked this piece out to gift to my niece when she was about 5 years old. She's now in high school. So this is the Cricut Collection, Skeleton Crew. You see like the fishes down here and everything like that. So I had part of the ship started, 2 of the skeletons done, and part of 2 of the sails completed. So here is Skeleton Crew. Now the part that I worked on, I worked more on this sail. I only had this little bit on this side, but I got this side and a couple rows more up the sail. Over here, I only had the 2 top rows of the dark brown done, and some of this other dark brown striping. I didn't have any of the windows done. And I didn't have any of the fill-in or the purple in here done. So I kind of basically worked on this part of Skeleton Crew for part of the challenges this week. Now the interesting thing is, so I'm doing this in glow-in-the-dark thread. The sails and the skeletons are in glow-in-the-dark thread. I don't know that I'm going to be able to show you the glow-in-the-dark thread. But sometime later I will hopefully be able to show you the glow-in-the-dark thread. A couple of the other color changes that I'm making on this, because I'm making a few color changes. So the Dead Man's Ship letters right here, I am going to be using thread gatherer silken colors in Ghosts and Ghoulies. So it's like greens and purples and oranges. So I'm using that. I'm obviously using the DMC glow in the dark thread. That's the glow in the dark thread. And then for the moon, the witch's face, the glob in the windows on the ship, and something else I thought I was doing. Anyway, I'll be using these three DMC glow in the dark. This is kind of a green, this is a yellow, and this is like an orange. This is all glow in the dark Krynic blending filament stuff. So, and then for the water underneath the boat going across here, the water waves, I will be using Bermuda Reef, the Karen water lilies. So, there we have it. But I'm not there yet. I mean, I can technically fill in the windows with the green slime color, but I kind of decided to wait. I don't know if I'll be working on this much more this coming week. I'm not sure. Kind of depends on what the challenge is and what the challenges are and what I think I can work on. But yeah, so this was one of my challenge pieces this week. And I think that was, well, no, that wasn't all I stitched on. I did my 25 stitches to be sorted into my Crystal Academy dorm. I did that tonight using my next piece I'm going to show you. But this is where I'm at on Skeleton Crew. I know Michelle Bendy at one point in time had this as a whip. She may have passed it on. I don't remember, but I know at one point in time Michelle Bendy was stitching this too. So anyway, love my project bag. Speaking of project bags, I am still looking for an Amish theme fabric or Amish themed project bag. If anybody knows where I can get one, please comment below and let me know. I would be really happy to get one. So, the next piece that I did just a little bit of work on this week, I haven't really worked on this, even though this is for the magazine monthly challenge. This is the Bewitching Owl. I just put 25 stitches on this earlier, right before I did this video. So, I had finished the initial stitching on this for the magazine monthly challenge. It was like, well, I haven't finished the magazine monthly challenge. My goal actually is to complete either the moon or the owl. I don't think I'm going to be doing either of them this month. I don't know. It just depends on what other challenges come up. But my 25 stitches was up here in the light yellow in the moon. So this is where I'm at for Bewitching Owl. I have the moon and the top of the owl. His eyes are right here. So this is where I'm at in the Bewitching Owl. This is from the Cross Stitch and Needleworks September 2012 issue of the magazine. So, and this is just being stitched on a piece of black even weave that I purchased at one of the big box craft stores many years ago. This was just a piece of black fabric that I had in my stash already. So, yellows and reds. See if this makes it a little. Yellows and reds. It kind of washes it out there. I don't know. I'm going to turn this back off. There we go. I don't know. So I did a little bit on that. Hey.
Hello. Hello, YouTube land.
I need just a minute. So sorry about that, you guys. It was about a 5 or 5 or 6 minute, couple minute break. My husband came down to, I'm actually going to take these off because I don't really need them right now. My husband came down to clean our litter boxes. And I didn't think you'd want to hear him scraping the litter box clean. So anyway, plus it gave us a chance to talk a little bit and gave me a chance to kind of regroup for this next little bit. So I had mentioned last week in my very badly prepared for video, sorry about that, you guys, that my WIPGO this month was Stonehearth Hutch by Thomas Kincaid, that was put out in the Just Cross Stitch magazine, and Fireside Originals Seahorses, the Seahorse of the Month patterns that came out a couple years back that I had collected. So those were my 2 WIPGOs. I do have them with me today. So I haven't worked on them yet this month, but they are on my WIPGO. And my goal is to stitch 1,000 stitches on them. I think my goal for Seahorses, which is this one right here, is to at least finish February, because I started in the top middle, and I started with February. So this is Fireside Originals. This is the Seahorses of the Month. So this is February. So you can see here the first 2 that were released were January and February. Okay, and this piece here is before all of them were released. I do have all of them. So this is what the piece is actually going to look like when it's finished with all 12 months. And I am stitching it on the called for colors, or the called for fabric, using the called for colors. I started this, I don't know when I started it. Did I even write it down? I don't know if I even wrote it down when I started. It's been within the last 3 or 4 years. This came out 2018, so it was probably 2018 when I started it. Do I have a working copy? I think I have a working copy. I've got to have a working copy. Yes, I have a working copy. I didn't write down when I started it, though. Go me. Yeah. So anyway, Fireside Originals, this piece, or this set, Fireside Originals, the company, is owned by Carol Grant. Carol is one of the owners of my local needlework shop here in Columbus, Ohio, Cross My Heart. I will put their shop information down below for you. I've known Carol and Jenny for a good 20-some years, and I frequent the shop quite often. It's usually where I get a lot of my local stitching supplies. But Carol came out with these Seahorses for a while, and being a shop customer and going to some of the stitch nights that they have at the shop, I've actually been able to see a lot of Fireside Originals pieces come out or being stitched on before they're even released. So I got to see some of the Seahorses before they came out, and yeah. So I don't know when I started this exactly, but it was sometime in 2018. Sometime in 2018. But I am doing this on the called for fabric, which is 32 count Maul Lake, M-A-U-L, like, you know, maul, like, you know, you get hurt mauling. It's 32 count Maul Lake from the Crosswing collection, using 2 plies of floss. This one is all DMC. I believe all of them are DMC. There might be I think it's all DMC. Yeah. Oh, I do. Yep. So this is Maul Lake. I'm doing it on the called for colors. I found the thing here for you, but I am working on February. This is the February one. So here is the piece of fabric. This fabric is beautiful. It looks like ocean water. And you can see there's little bubbly things on it, like little bubbles rising to the top. Sorry, it's wrinkled. It's just been folded up for a while. So this is where I'm at in the February seahorses. So basically where I'm at is on this darker red one's head, right in here. So that is where, and I got a little bit of the border, the little swirly in the border done. This is, the needle minder is a little teeny acrylic pin or magnet that I purchased at one of the anime conventions here in Columbus, and I converted it into a needle minder. It's an axolotl. I think it's an axolotl. It might be a little dinosaur wearing headphones. But anyway, so that is where I'm started on my seahorses. So my goal is to put 1,000 more stitches in it. I think ultimately I'd really love to finish the seahorse set. So that is coming out hopefully this week, so I can work on it some this week for some of the challenges. I do have some challenges that I think it'll go with, I hope. So that will be coming out sometime this week. So that is where I'm at. Let me see if I can get this a little closer so you can see some of the bubbling. You see the little bubbles? It actually does look like little bubbles floating up the seawater, which is why I kind of really like this fabric. It's really pretty fabric. It's kind of a aqua green and blue, kind of hand painted. It's really pretty. I'm really liking it a lot. And I'm doing it 2/2 with the called for floss. It's just DMC. And again, I have it in my super special project bag, because all my other project bags, all my good project bags are taken, unfortunately. So there you go. And then I had the floss for this. I just put the floss, some of the flosses that I had in the floss bags, but yeah. So anyway, it uses some of the new DMC colors as well. The 01s through the 35. All right, so that is Seahorses by Fireside Originals. That's on my WIPGO for this month. So hopefully this project will be getting some love this month, by the end of the month. So, then the second one I have, which is also in a handy dandy, very, very Ginshi project bag. So this would also fit for the magazine monthly challenge, because my magazine issue is very used, but it came out of Just Cross Stitch. This is the December 1998 issue of Just Cross Stitch. My magazine is very, very loved. You can see it's it's dog-eared and all that. But the piece that I'm doing is the one on the cover. I really love Thomas Kincaid. Okay, I don't own any Thomas Kincaid artwork, actual artwork. I really love his artwork though, his winter stuff especially. I'm very much a winter Thomas Kincaid person. And I like snatched this off the shelf when this came out. Because I'm like, well, yeah. And the interesting thing about this piece is that it's full coverage. You stitch everything in here, and it uses blending filament to catch the light in the snow and the light in the windows and stuff. It uses blending filament. It's kind of annoying because yeah, you're supposed to stitch the stitches and then add the blending filament on top. It's kind of annoying. It's kind of a pain in the butt, you know, but I started this probably when it came out, 1998, 1999, something like that. So this has been in my pile for a while. And I'm doing it on some unnamed brand of linen. And I want to say it's 32 count linen, 32 count white linen. And I'm doing it kind of as it's charted. The chart isn't exactly my favorite chart. you know, because they have whole stitches where I think there should be 3/4 stitches, this, that, and the other thing, and haven't really got a whole lot done on it, but I'm hoping to get more done. I made working copies of the thing, and also those of you that have watched the video of mine in August know that I ordered the Just Cross Stitch DVD collections that have all the back issues. This issue obviously is on the DVD set, so I was actually able to reprint another working copy because I do have this on DVD now. But anyway, so yeah, it just kind of shows the pattern. Yep, and there's a lot of stuff to it. I originally started marking in the pattern or in the magazine for the stitches that I completed until I got a working copy made. But yeah, this hasn't been getting a lot of love because I'm not really enjoying the pattern, so to speak, for it. But I'm hoping to get it going a little bit more. So when I originally started, I think I pulled this out sometime last year to work on it. I had originally started down here in this area. This is where I started, the bottom middle. I have some of the blending filament in there. I don't know that you can see some of this sparkly. Yeah, you can see some of this sparkly in the pink and the blue. There's some of the sparkly in there. But anyway, I started over here, and then when I pulled it out last year, I believe is when I pulled this out, I wanted to get over to the edge and kind of figure out how tall it was going to be. So I stitched what I could over to here. This is the corner, and then I stitched up to find the top corner. So that's actually how tall it is from here to here. That's as big as it's going to be. And it's all full stitching, so all of this area is going to be filled in. I think my next, I'm just going to probably work on the sky, get the sky done, and then work on everything else down here. The house starts somewhere in here. This is tree and branch and tree trunk. So this is tree and tree trunk right in here. And then this is part of the fence that comes over. But yeah, I'm using the called for floss. I'm not substituting anything out. But this is basically a full coverage cross stitch piece, you guys. Pretty much. Actually, it isn't. Almost. It is a full coverage cross stitch piece. So if you're looking for kind of a rather small full coverage cross stitch piece, this actually isn't so bad. And I think this is on an 11 by 17. This is an 11 by 17 Q-snap. But this is just a piece of white or off-white linen that I purchased at my local needlework shop. And I believe this one is 32 count because that's what I was getting most of when I bought this fabric. So I think this is 32 count. And then I have my needle minder way up here, which is basically just this little heart or this little shamrock thing. So I'm hoping this gets some love this month. This is Just Cross Stitch Stone Hearth Hutch by Thomas Kincaid. This is probably one of my most favorite Thomas Kincaid pieces. So I'm hoping that the more I stitch on it, I'll like it a little better. But yeah, and the more I get done on it, I think the more I'll like it. But yeah, part of the problem is it tells you to stitch everything and then go back and stitch over the stuff with the blending filament. So yeah. And you don't stitch on everything with the blending filament. So like what's interesting is like you'll stitch, say you'll stitch with this blue, okay? And you'll have one symbol for the blue where it doesn't call for the blending filament, and it'll be side by side with the other symbol for the same blue where you're supposed to go back over and stitch the blending filament on top of it. So you'll have all the blues stitched, but you won't know until you go back to do the blending filament, which stitch you're supposed to stitch the blending filament on. So I may have to do all the stitches that don't have blending filament, and then go back and fill in with the stitches that do have blending filament, and then carry the blending filament and fill it in as I go along. That might be what I have to do. I haven't really figured that out. Down here, what I did was just stitched over those stitches with the blending filament. So, I mean, the other thing I could do is just stitch a solid block, like here. Some of this blue here has blending filament in it. I just stitched the whole thing because I realized, well, there's two symbols with the same color. I'm just going to stitch the entire color all the way across, so it's a solid block of color, and then I'll just go back and fill in. But yeah, there's some blending filament that needs to go in here, and it's the 032, so it's the kind of the shimmery pearlescent kind of one. My husband's steaming the floor upstairs. Hold on just a minute. Hi, sorry about that. I actually took like probably a 20-minute break just so I could get some organizing done and kind of hold off talking to you as my husband was steaming the kitchen floors upstairs, and our stairway that's right over here goes straight up into the kitchen. So yeah, you could hear him steaming up there for about 15 or 20 minutes. So I was getting some notes together for my challenges, but this is Stonehearth Hutch, and this is where I'm probably going to be starting. So what I did in the break was, let me actually kind of get this put away for a minute so I can talk to you. Yeah. So get this put back in my okay. There's a diamond painting tray, you guys. A little cookie sheet that I'm in the process of converting to a diamond painting tray. It just kind of crashed to the floor with all the little green diamond training boats. Diamond painting boats in them. They just crashed to the floor. So that's what you heard. There's no diamond painting drills in there, thank God, though. Yeah. All right. So, that being said, those are the whips that I have going on, and the 2 WIPGO things that I didn't have to show you last week. So I actually kind of went through and got started in the thing. I don't know that. So let me see. Have they posted class prompt tutorial? Nope. All right. So a couple of things today. Last minute class shuffle. So, as I was saying, I'm in a new, sorry about that, I was reading something on the Crystal Academy cross-stitch game Facebook group. So anyway, as I was saying, I joined the Crystal Academy Facebook group, and I was just sorted into the vampire parasite lamprey dorm, Lamprey. So I'm a lamprey for this, at least for now. So the first semester starts tomorrow. And I was just kind of looking to see if they posted anything. Make it exhausted and discouraged. Yep. Do. So it's gonna be kind of interesting. I'm not seeing yeah. So they have different things. Wendigos, night crawlers, I'm a lamprey, Rougarou, jackalopes. Ah, I could have been a jackalope. Oh well. So I'll have to watch the live video that they posted, but anyway, I don't think anything's been posted as far as the first assignment comes this week. So, going through the Facebook groups, because that's all I have left to you. I don't have any haul or anything. Oh yes, I do. Before I get into that, let me actually just show you this. So, as far as like the magazine monthly challenge, so there's two things with the magazine monthly challenge group. So you know I've been working on the Bewitching Owl from the Cross Stitch and Needlework September 2012. So my WIPGO, one of my WIPGO pieces this month. Oh, come on. Oh. So one of my WIPGO pieces this month, as you know, also is the just cross stitch Stoneheart Hutch that I just showed you. So that's in the magazine monthly challenge group as well. There's two things. There used to be an online magazine several years back called the Gift of Stitching magazine. It had 72 issues released between 2006 and 2012, and then it went out of print. They have recently released the opportunity to purchase the digital magazine again. Now, it's not being recreated, which means they're not bringing out new content, but you can go online and order the Gift of Stitching magazine from 2006 to 2012. You can order, they have various different options that you can select to order their magazine editions. One of the options is to get all 72 issues of the Gift of Stitching magazine. Because I am in the magazine monthly challenge group, that is exactly what I did this week. So I went out to the website. It's TGOSM, thegiftofstitchingmagazine.com. And you can order, they have a couple of different options that you can pick. You can order just the Christmas issues. You can order like 1 year, you know, like the 2006 magazines or whatever. I think the best bet is to order the 72 pack, so you get all 72 issues ever released of the Gift of Stitching magazine. And I ordered mine this week. It came as a link with an instant download. I downloaded the entire file. It was like a zip file. I just downloaded it right to my computer. They're all PDFs. So I'm in the process of kind of going through those issues now to figure out if there's some things that I can use for the magazine monthly challenge group or any of the other new things. Because stash, and I told you earlier in the video that I didn't have any new stash, so to speak, but that was a lie. I have the Gift of Stitching magazine, all 72 back issues now. There was something else I was going to say too about the Stitching magazine. I forgot what I was where I was kind of going with that. So anyway, magazine monthly challenge group. Oh, the other thing is, so here's the thing. I'm going into Happy Mail right now. The other thing is, I am a VIP patron. I'm a patron of StitchLife Magazine, which is an online magazine. You get, you know, newsletters and stuff several times a month, and you know, free patterns and stuff like that. I support them. I believe the level that I'm supporting them is like $8 or $10 a month. So I'm sending them money through Patreon for just to be a VIP member of StitchLife Magazine. I will post the StitchLife Magazine link and the Gift of Stitching Magazine links below for you, so you have them. But they had posted, StitchLife Magazine had posted on their VIP group, Facebook group for their patrons, to make sure that your address, your mailing address, was updated. And they posted this like 2 or 3 weeks ago. And I completely forgot that they had posted that. So, do I have one? Yes, I have one. Maybe. I'll just use this. Maybe that'll cover it up. Nope, that won't cover it up because that's dirty. Alright. No, poop. Poopy. Alright, so, let me just do this. Sorry, you guys. I'm just going to cover up my address. There we go. So, in the mail this week, I got something, Friday, I got something that I wasn't really expecting to get. I didn't remember that they had asked about the address, but StitchLife Magazine sent out everybody that was a patron, that supported them through Patreon, their monthly gift. And I got my StitchLife monthly gift. I did open it already because I wasn't sure what the heck I ordered. I couldn't remember ordering anything. This is actually really cool, you guys. So, what else is in here? Why does it feel like something else is in here? Oh, it's just the label on the bag. Alright. So, the coolest thing out of this, well, not the coolest thing, but one of the cool things is this really nice StitchLife tote bag, you guys. So, I have a StitchLife tote bag, and it's quite roomy and quite large. And it has really nice, super heavy-duty handles. And it's pretty wide. It has a flat bottom, so you can sit it down on things. So this is going to make a really nice tote bag to kind of carry projects and stuff in when I go elsewhere to do my stitching. That's going to be really nice. So I got this from StitchLife. This is the StitchLife tote bag. I believe everybody got one, but the colors may vary. Mine is black. So I got a black tote bag. Or maybe it's navy. I think it's black. Mine is black. So, one of the other cool things I got was this little project bag. This little mesh project bag. I like these. I have quite a few of them. My husband and I, we picked some of these up when we were out in California a couple years ago. They have these Daiso Japanese little dollar stores all over California. Daiso, D-A-I-S-O. They have these bags there for like $1. So StitchLife sent me a project bag, and inside the project bag there's a couple of free gifts. So the first gift is this thread holder or thread sorter that you can use, and it says cross stitch in the middle of it. And it's hard plastic, so you can put your thread colors for a project on there. The nice thing is you can use Sharpies on here probably, and write the DMC color numbers or whatever color you're doing right here. And then you can use you can use rubbing alcohol to wipe it off. Use Sharpie marker to write on it. Rubbing alcohol or even hand sanitizer. Hand sanitizer does work because it has rubbing alcohol to wipe it off. So this is really kind of cool. Mine is a green. I don't know if they come in other colors or not, but this is a thread sorter for your cross stitch projects. So that is pretty cool. And then I got this little teeny Altoids tin that has the StitchLife sticker on it. That is the StitchLife logo, by the way. It's a needle with thread. So in my little Altoids tin here, this is really kind of cool. I got these little snips. These are little foldable snips. What does this say? Weimao. W-E-I-M-A-O. So it's these little thread snips. And these are the little scissors that fold up. So yeah. I had a pair of these on a little lanyard thing. But yeah, I mean, cool. Nice little pair of fold-up scissors. So that's really cool. That'll go in some of my stitching bags. Get this folded back up and put back away. There we go. Little pair of snips. And some other people got some different things. Like there were wooden charms with holes in them that you could cross stitch on. I got a needle minder. And this needle minder is really cool. So this came from StitchLife Magazine. I got Fight Like a Girl. That's actually really kind of cool. I really like this needle binder a lot. And it's got the super duper heavy duty neodymium. It's the really strong magnet. So yeah, I got Stitch Like a Girl, or Fight Like a Girl, in a fist. That's really cool. So Fight Like a Girl. Fight like a girl. Yeah. Okay. So that was my gift, and it came in this little container. I might actually just kind of keep this container intact and use it in my Stitchy box. I don't know. So these are really cool. I got some really cool gifts from StitchLife Magazine. So thank you very much to StitchLife Magazine for giving gifts to their supporters. Really like it. Thank you very much. It was great. I wasn't expecting this. This was really kind of a nice surprise. Thank you. Thank you very much. So that was pretty much all the Happy Mail, and the haul that I got this week was the Gift of Stitchy Magazine, 72 back issues, and the StitchLife Magazine Patreon supporter free monthly gift. So, that being said, I will get on to the challenges, the Stitchy challenges for this week. So, week 5 in Mythological Stitchers Challenge, which is linked below in the long list of challenge groups. Mythological Stitchers Challenge group this week is Coyote, and it goes from the 14th until the 20th. It's week 5. We have to stitch 500 stitches on a project relating to winter or moons. I was originally going to stitch on my Heaven and Earth Designs 4 Seasons thing, but you know what? Instead, because it's the Magazine Monthly Challenge, I'm doing Stonehearth Hutch. So I have to stitch 500 stitches on this for Mythological Stitchers Challenge. 500 stitches on this for Mythological Stitchers Challenge. Alright. WIPGO is obviously Stonehearth Hutch and Fireside Original Seahorses. So if I do 500 stitches for Mythological Stitchers Challenge, I'll be halfway to the 1,000 stitches for the WIPGO, and I can mark that off. Be kind of nice if I can do 1,000 stitches, but we shall see. So far it's 500 stitches on 500 stitches on a project relating to winter. So I'm going to do Stonehearth Hutch because it's the one of the Thomas Kincaid winter designs. All right. So the Magazine Monthly Challenge, I'm still focusing on Bewitching Owl. I don't know if I'll be putting many stitches on that this week. I don't know what the challenges are for Crystal Academy yet, so I don't know if it will fit any of the challenges for that. Let's see. Not into those. Not into those. Not into those. For Myth and Magic Stitch Wars, I can do 175 stitches at a time to get more sparkly pebbles. So I'll probably do that in amongst doing the 500 stitches for that. I'll probably do 2 sets of sparkly pebbles for that. The Stitchy quest to destroy the one ring, there's catch-up challenges that we can do. There's the one ring considering hobbits and the prologue. They're also doing the Pandemic SAL. So technically I am doing the Pandemic SAL, but I haven't officially done the Pandemic SAL. So Stitchy quest to destroy the one ring, they have a Pandemic SAL going along among many other groups. Let's see, the Crystal Academy, we don't know what the new we don't know what the first challenges are going to be for the first class, which is Technomance? What is it? So they changed that. It is Technomancy. Whatever Technomancy is. I guess we'll find out starting tomorrow. That is going to be the first class. Technomancy. And then so yeah, I am in Lamprey. And then, so School of Magical Stitches. So here is the thing for School of Magical Stitches. We are doing Kingdom Keepers Book 5, which is Shell Game, which the DHIs are on a cruise, the Disney Dreams cruise ship, trying to stop the Overtakers, or the Disney villains, from completing their goal of taking over the parks. So we have 2 tasks. We have 2 tasks this week. We have to stitch 500 stitches each for 5 points, or stitch 750 penalty stitches on our for each task on our chosen project. So the first one, we have to stitch on something that we would take on an island. I don't know what that's going to be, but I mean, I already have to do 500 stitches on that other, on Stonehearth Hutch for Mythological Stitch Wars, or Mythological Stitchers Challenge. I can probably add another 250 easily, and do the penalty stitches for task 1, because I don't know what I would pick. So the second task that we have to stitch on for School Magical Stitches is something under the sea. Well, guess what? I have seahorses, and it's a WIPGO. So I can do 500 stitches on seahorses, because that's something you would find under the sea if you went diving. So task 2 I have planned is going to be seahorses. So I'm going to write that down. Oh, I do have it down. I do have it written down. All right. So then we have the Enchanted Stitching Challenges group. We're on week 3. I'm in Epcot for that group. Haven't really been actively participating. So for the Enchanted Stitching Challenges groups, we can get a certain number of points based on how many stitches or increment of time that we choose to stitch. So to be considered a noble, we can stitch 50 stitches or 30 minutes. A knight, we can stitch 100 stitches or 1 hour. Or a royal, we can stitch 250 stitches or 2 hours. So for a noble, we get 1 point. For a knight, we get 2 points. For a royal, we get 5 points. And then we just kind of go from there. So the first task is a title or designer that starts with K, Q, R, or J. The interesting thing is I'm going to be working on Thomas Kincaid's Stonehearth Hutch. So Thomas Kincaid starts with a K, and it's in the Just Cross Stitch Magazine, which starts with a J. So I can use Stonehearth Hutch for that one. Let me go ahead and mark that down. Stonehearth Hutch. The news is on. Stitch on something you find confusing. Oh, look, Stonehearth Hutch. Because it's confusing having 2 symbols with the same basic DMC color. One symbol you use blending filament, the other one you do not, and they're all mixed in together. So I can probably use that twice for that. So that means I'd have to do at least 100 stitches on Stonehearth Hutch, 50 each. Stitch on a piece that includes pants or teeth. It's probably going to be like the Frosted Pumpkin Midnight Way, because I'd have to look. I don't know if it includes teeth. If it includes teeth, I think the next Midnight Way installment comes out tomorrow, by the way. I'll have to check. I think the second one comes out tomorrow. Maybe it was last week. I don't remember. Anyway, so I'll have to check on that. But then the last one is stitch on a piece or something that can be used to wake up Riley. Riley, the movie this month is Inside Out. So it's the Disney movie. I checked Hulu and Amazon Prime. I can't watch it. We don't have Disney Plus. So I don't know that I'm going to be able to watch Inside Out. But anyway, we have to stitch on a piece that can be used to wake up Riley. So I'm going to probably have to find something little cute that I can put 50 stitches on that maybe has like hot cocoa. I think there's a Frosted Pumpkin little kawaii chart or something that has a mug of like hot cocoa or something that I can stitch on. I don't know. maybe. I'll think of it. But anyway, I have the first two. So I have a Stonehearth Hutch for at least 100 stitches. So there's that. And then that's pretty much all I have right now for everything else. Besides working on some of the Stitchy Quest challenges, you know, the catch-up challenges and stuff like that. Yeah, so that's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed my video. I hope you enjoyed my content. I hope you enjoyed my whips. And anyway, I am going to kind of end it here, much the same way I started. So anyway, hold on just a minute, please. Sorry about that. I just had to go through and check a couple of things first and pick out the music that I kind of wanted to end this. I'm just trying something new this week, you guys, just to see. Again, the music that I'm selecting for you is from bensound.com, and it is royalty-free music that you can use for your YouTube videos or whatever. Feel free to go there and check them out and download them. I think the first one I used is one called Dance. This one is one called India. So, if you're into Bhangra music, this has a little bit of that too. But my husband and I kind of like Bhangra music. We've seen Bhangra dancers from the Asian festival from here in Columbus, Ohio. We have a really big Asian festival on Memorial Weekend every year. Didn't happen this year for obvious reasons, but we have this big Bhangra dance group called Nachta Punjab come in and dance for everybody, and they're pretty funny. They've sold some CDs and stuff, so we have some Bhangra CDs, and it's kind of fun. So hopefully you'll get some inspiration from this. Once again, thank you for watching. I hope you guys stay happy. I hope you guys stay healthy. I hope you guys stay safe. Wear your masks because it's really important. People like me who can probably get really sick or die from it if we catch it. I'm wearing my mask when I'm out of the house. So I hope you are too. Anyway, like and subscribe down below. Give me your thumbs up. Leave your comments or questions below. I'll do my best to answer them to the best of my ability. And until next time, just keep on keeping on, because that's all we can do. And we'll see you soon. Bye, everybody. Ready?